Hi guys, this is Amardeep Srivastava, and in this lecture, I'm going to explain you all about two basic things of environment and ecology. First is UNFCCC, and second is Kyoto Protocol. Kyoto Protocol. These two things are very much important if you are into the climate change, and if you are worried about knowing the fact that we have degraded the environment and climate very amazingly, then you can see that you need to know what is UNFCCC and what is Kyoto Protocol. Basically, what is UNFCCC? UNFCCC stands for United Nation. Basically, UNFCCC stands for United Nation Framework Convention on Climate Changes. Okay, as the name suggests, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Changes. This is an international environmental treaty. What is this? This is an international environmental treaty that came into existence under the United Nations. Obvious, as the name suggests, its prefix is UNFCCC, that is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Changes. So you can say that it came under the United Nations. Now, the first United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Changes is negotiated at the Earth Summit 1992. The first Earth Summit negotiation on 1992, where at New York City. Okay, the first it has been signed, or we have thought to increase the sense regarding the environmental degradation at a UNFCCC conference, that is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change Conference. It is an international environmental treaty that came into existence under the United Nations. UNFCCC came under the United Nations, so as the name suggests, UNFCCC is negotiated at the Earth Summit 1992, signed in 1992, New York City. As of now, there are 197 parties or country members. Okay. Now, what are the roles of UNFCCC? You can imagine the role, or what are the things that UNFCCC performs. We will discuss and we will know in very much detail. Okay, what are the role? First role is UNFCCC provides a framework for negotiating specific international treaties, which is known as protocols. First thing is that UNFCCC, what the UNFCCC do is that it provides protocols. What is protocols? Protocols is a framework for negotiating specific international treaties. Like what? If you have to do some work or assignment, you need some of the framework, some of the performer to do that project, or all the things, or the project that has been given to you. But firstly, you need some framework, and you need a guardian symbol to assist the project manager. As a project manager, UNFCCC, what UNFCCC do is that UNFCCC is negotiated, and it provides framework for negotiating specific international treaties. Specific international treaty is known as protocol. Okay, here that what it aims to set is that it sets binding limit on greenhouse gases. What do you mean by the term binding limits, non-binding limit? Binding limits means what? If you will not obey these things, you will have to feel, or you will have to pay the penalties. Non-binding means you are not forced, or you will not be forced to do such things. Okay. Now, as the global warming is increasing, I have already discussed about the global warming in my lecture. You can watch my environment and ecology lecture in the playlist. I have already given about the global warming in very much detail. I have referred the book Sankar IS, and you can refer that only. Okay. Now, what are the objectives of UNFCCC? Is that what will be the objectives of UNFCCC? Mainly the objectives of UNFCCC. Okay. It the main objective of UNFCCC is that it stabilizes greenhouse gases concentration in the atmosphere at a level that would prevent dangerous consequences. Likewise, we can see that we humans are very greedy. We are using reckless amount of millions and trillions of greenhouse emitting substances, like from your deodorant to your refrigerator to your motorcycle and your car is emitting greenhouse gases to the atmosphere, which in turn causing the annual average temperature raise of the atmosphere, which leads to the global warming. That is, the earth's temperature is rising. Okay, but after the consideration of the protocol, that is UNFCCC establishment, the main effect is that treaty is considered as legally non-binding. It has been considered as legally non-binding, as the UNFCCC has started with binding agreements, but legally it was accepted as non-binding agreement. What do you mean by the term non-binding is that no one can force anyone, any country or any organization to drop down the emissions, or you can say that it will be a demerit, or you can say that it is a greater disadvantage that UNFCCC was not able to bind up or cope up or make some of the hardest regulations to regulate the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Moving further, now under the UNFCCC in 1997, a protocol under the UNFCCC program, a protocol has been launched on third COP. What is COP? COP is that Conference of Parties. That is, when UNFCCC members join together to launch some of the meeting that on the basis of environmental and ecology, the third Conference of Parties, that is third COP, was concluded and established legally binding obligations for developed countries to reduce their greenhouse gases. That is, in third Conference of Parties, there is a rule of binding agreement. Agreement is forced for the developed countries. Binding agreement for whom? For developed countries. For what? For the obligations to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. Okay, and this third COP, that is Conference of Parties, is known as Kyoto Protocol. Okay, Kyoto Protocol COP3 UNFCCC Summit 1997 में it happens, or it was organized in 1997. India ratified Kyoto Protocol in 2002. India joined Kyoto Protocol in 2002. India agreed with the terms and conditions that Kyoto Protocol has put it. Okay, but the Kyoto Protocol came into force in January 2005. In 1997, it was proposed, but in 2005, it was finally enforced. Okay, in 2002, India ratified. That I agree with all the terms and conditions. I agree with all the terms and conditions, and I will do the things that are the requirement of Kyoto Protocol, that is third COP. Okay, USA as a developed nation never ratified Kyoto Protocol KP. So this is the point you should remember. USA as a developed nation never ratified KP. I will explain you all about the factors and terms that has been proposed in third COP, that is the binding forced agreements in case of Kyoto Protocol. In 2002, India agreed with all the terms and conditions, but USA never ratified Kyoto Protocol. Okay. Canada, one more static part that you should remember is that Canada withdrew in 2012. Canada withdraws from Kyoto Protocols, that is COP third, which has been forced in 2005. Okay, Kyoto Protocol is the only global treaty with binding limits on greenhouse gases emission. KP was only binding agreement. Means if you are merging yourself in Kyoto Protocol, then you should know the treaty and then you should follow some of the rules. And if you fail to follow the rules, you will have to pay some of the penalties. Okay. Now, what are the goals of Kyoto Protocols? You can say that goal of Kyoto Protocol. First goal is to fight global warming by reducing greenhouse gases concentration in the atmosphere to a level that would prevent dangerous anthropogenic interference with the climate interference. Likewise, we are interfering with environment in very narcissist way. That is, we have done very worse to the environment, but it's never too late to think over that. So in Kyoto Protocol there is a legally term abind, so that we have to think over the excessive or anthropogenic means human interferences disturbances that cause global warming potential to increase, that is global warming in atmosphere increases because of greenhouse gases emission. Okay, we should make some of the regulations under the Kyoto Protocol such that it will drill down or it will drop down the global warming gases in the entire atmosphere. Okay, the main aim, Kyoto Protocol aim to cut emissions of greenhouse gases across the developed world by about 5% in 2012. It was abided that in up to 2012 the developed world has to reduce nearly 5.2% of greenhouse emissions of their emissions which they are infecting the environment. The main point that you should remember is that the protocol is basically based on the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities. Means what? Common but differentiated responsibilities. Means what? The problem is common, that is, the problem of global warming is very common, but it is a differentiated responsibilities. Like what? Developed country which already has been developed by using the different greenhouse emission or like coal and different type of things that has already polluted the environment, greenhouse concentration, that they have already increased the greenhouse concentration in the atmosphere. Some of the developed countries or some of the developing countries and underdeveloped countries are still under the process of development, so they have the common problem of greenhouse emissions, but they have to think differentiated responsibilities will be put in their framework. Now, the real meaning of common but differentiated responsibility is that in Kyoto Protocol purpose is that it puts the obligation to reduce current emission. What is the main purpose? To reduce current emission. Current emission of what? Greenhouse gases. Okay, and the main burden on to reduction or the main presence of this reduction is should be on developed country. Because they were historically responsible for the current levels of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Okay, common but differentiated responsibilities divides countries into two categories. The first category is historically biggest polluting development countries like US, UK. Common but differentiated responsibilities had divided the entire emission countries into two parts. Into two categories. The first category is that historically which countries has emitted large amount of greenhouse gases, that is historically biggest polluting developed countries like US, France, Japan, Russia, that is those countries who has already been developed by using the reckless use of different type of component that has contributed in greenhouse gases level rises. Okay, now second type of country is that recently polluting the environment with greenhouse gases like China, India, Brazil, They have been considered free and polluting the environment since nearly 1950s. So they are new in the game of polluting the environment. Although India and China are very much responsible, till of now, India and China is very much responsible for the greenhouse emissions of gases, but these countries have to abide the responsibilities from the Kyoto Protocol. That's why USA have never taken part. Now, what is the common in both the thing is that every country, both developing and developed, must take part in the fight against climate change. The main concern is climate change. Both developing as well as developed country should take part to fight against the climate change, but differentiated responsibilities should be there as per their historical background. We have already discussed about this. They must accept to certain binding limits, that is developed nation must have to accept certain binding limits. I have already discussed what is binding limits. On what? On greenhouse emission or greenhouse gases emission. They must contribute funds towards reducing greenhouse gas emission in developing and less developed countries. Likewise, if developing countries are contributing in greenhouse gases, then developed countries have share some responsibilities that to manage the greenhouse emission by giving or by providing some of the financial assistance to the developing countries. Okay, but there is no bindation or there is no binding limit on developing country because they are developing since 1950s. If you will put some binding agreement on developing country, they will not be developed in the near future. Now, these parties and their commitments has been classified in Kyoto Protocol. They are classified as Annex 1. In Annex 1, there are developed countries like what? US, UK, Russia, etc. Like there have some economical transition has already been takes place. Okay. In Annex 2, they considered about developing country. Okay. Now, to reduce the greenhouse gases emission for the countries like India, China, and different least developed countries, no binding target is given to the reduce greenhouse emission, and developing countries may volunteer to become Annex 1 countries when they are sufficiently developed. If the developing countries are sufficiently developed, then they can join the Annex 1 para. That is, they have been developed, they are developed now, and they are also legally binded by the agreement. The main component of greenhouse gases in which the Kyoto Protocol emissions target gases are CO2, that is carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane, that is CH4, nitrous oxide, that is N2O, CO2 means carbon dioxide, sulfur hexafluoride, SF6, groups of hydrofluorocarbon, that is HCFs, and group of perfluorocarbon, that is PFCs. These are the component of gases in greenhouse which we have to reduce, because it is very much worried topic that we should reduce the greenhouse limit, because earth is warming day by day and glaciers are melting and the sea level is rising. So thank you. This is the Kyoto Protocol and UNFCCC.